It seems to be back. There we go. I don't know what that was. That was probably a StreamYard issue. Welcome and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Got to experience like at least one tech issue during every live stream, right? Jordan, you and I have the ability, I think in the coming next week, are we chatting on your podcast?
We are, yes. We are Gig Ready podcast. We talk everything live events and looking at how people can be more gig ready. So ultimately we are trying to help people become better professionals. And so it's a lot of fun. We have a great time.
It's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I know you've also featured several members of the techsytalk community, so people know you, which is great. But I would love to have you dive into this GigStream platform. Tell us a little bit about it. I'll click when you tell me to click. Otherwise, I'll take myself off screen, and then we'll ask you a bunch of questions. Sound good?
Yeah, I love it. Can't wait.
All right.
Thank you.
Here we go.
So GigStream, it's in the name. We stream gigs, all kinds of gigs, whether it's corporate, we're talking nonprofit, we're looking concerts, and we are really here to discover what's possible. So we built this entire platform out of the idea that the live AV business and what we do requires a lot of touch points, a lot of people that really need the understanding that we're there for them 24/7, no matter what. And our goal is, of course, to help keep us focused on pointing in the right direction with good quality production, good quality events, and good quality content delivery. Ultimately, we are production company agnostic, but we bring pro level AV support to each and every event, no matter where they might be doing it, whether it's virtual or it's hybrid. We can go to the next one. Now, our events and what we want them to look like. Each one of your events is going to be different. Every client is different. Every single group is unique. And we want every single page, every single platform that is created by us to look that way. And because it's so unique, we want to bring that style, that flair to each and every part. We want our customers to be rest assured to know that they can deliver exactly what their brand is to their customer through our platform, and they can deliver in a way that looks just like them. We don't want it to look like anything else. Next. Now, our platform, your platform, and your technology. We built GigStream from the ground up. We're not using anybody else's platform. We're not white labeling somebody else's. We have complete control of the core system of what we created. It's all cloud-based, so it's not related or dictated by your internet connection. And we are using that to leverage server locations around the world. So the control for the event no longer rests with some other software, with another person, with another group of people, but instead it rests with us. And so we bring that AV support, that hands-on live show connection, live show support to each and every event. And this becomes a platform where you can do as many events as you want, and we're going to support it pre-show, during show, and after show. We are part of your team, and we have actually gone through and done a little bit more when it comes to automations, AI, and different ways that we actually can move people through the event without them ever having to hit a button. They don't have to touch a link. They don't have to go into a room and out of a room. We actually have created a way to automate everything through the platform, especially for those less tech savvy people who are looking to, they want a seamless experience, but they don't want to have to worry about, oh, how do I get to this room or that room? We want to make that incredibly not complex, essentially. Now, thinking about worldwide content delivery, we can go to the next slide. Our entire platform is built to scale. And so we looked at this from the standpoint of, instead of delivering content from one location, we want to deliver content to where it needs to be delivered. So for instance, in the United States, most of us have experienced Amazon. I mean, we buy from Amazon regularly, and they don't distribute from one hub, they distribute from many, and they find geographical locations that make sense for their delivery structure to make it optimal, fast, and they can deliver the best products as fast as possible. Now, we looked at our delivery methods, and we looked at the delivery methods of a number of other platforms and decided that we did not want to rely on one location, one place. We want to make sure that each location is able to deliver content to that particular place from that geographical location. So we actually create servers for your platform in that location, closest to everybody who wants to be a part of the event, so that we are decreasing latency, we're decreasing time to screen, and we're increasing reliability. If I'm in the United States, I don't want a server on the other side of the world bringing the content to me, because it's going to take more time, and there's more points in that line of communication that could create failure. So our goal is to make sure that we increase reliability over time. Next one. Now, this really is our secret sauce. We have a platform that 12 months ago would have been one stream, one screen, but instead we said, well, where does this go next? What is our next level? And we came up with a really fantastic way of delivering content in a dual and a multi-stream format. These are synced streams. They are there. They are running simultaneously, synced within 2 frames of each other to deliver great content so that everybody can see everything. You no longer have to pick, when do I show my screen? When do I show my content? When do I show my PowerPoint? Or when do I look at everything else? When do I look at the speaker and all the other people? We don't want to force them to use one screen or just what we're looking at. We want to give them options, so really, truly, they can choose their own adventure. Now, next one. The other thing that we look at is, we were looking at nonprofits. How do we help them actually maximize their ability to get the money that they need to help stay sustainable and keep running? Now, each one of the events, each one of the people who needs to raise money for their nonprofit is looking for the best way to do it. And what we ended up doing was we created an entire part of our platform that's built to raise funds, where when we have somebody talking live on screen, our AI is actually able to know when they are going to talk about the donations. They say donate, they say contribute, and we actually can highlight the contribution buttons on the platform so that they know, hey, I need to get in there. I need to actually give money to these people so that they can continue to do the good things that they're doing. The great thing is that every single penny goes to the nonprofit. So not only do we make sure that they are known and seen, but they also can get every single penny that they need. There's no fees, no processing fees, no nothing. We create a flat rate cost for them, and their event just happens and goes seamlessly. Next. Now, let's talk about streaming versus collaboration. You need both. Not only do you need the streaming aspect of sending stuff down to your customers and your clients, but you also want to be able to collaborate, meaning person to person. So when you're talking with someone else, you're going back and forth, you're actually interacting with other people. And our platform creates a way for you not only to do one direction streaming, but also come in for roundtable discussions, networking groups, and any other way that you want to communicate. So we've created both sides of it, giving people a way to connect, but also deliver information to people no matter where they are in the world. Last. So looking at all of this, we would love to show you a little bit more. GigStream.live is the best place to find us. And we really are excited for the great content that we can deliver to people around the world and show them just how fantastic virtual and hybrid events can be.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We are seeing some comments come in and some questions, which we will get to in just a second. I like to make this reminder after each one to please, if you're watching and you have some questions, put them in the chat. Jordan, thank you so much for walking us through this. I really like this idea, and correct me if I'm wrong in understanding it, that a user can choose what they want to be seeing and what they want to focus on. If I go back to your slide, just a few slides ago here, is this the case that a user can say, I want to see Liz full screen and I don't care really what the slides say?
Correct. Yes, exactly. So our thought was, why do we have to choose whether it's content or whether it's the person? And so now you can have multiple streams going. And so you see in this image here where our speaker is small, content is large. Some people like it the other way. The nice thing is not only can they do it, but if the producer or someone else has a way that they want to show the content, we can actually push that to all of the users and say, this is what we want you to focus on now. And then they can choose to pivot and adjust from there if they want to do something different.
Yeah, this choose your own adventure model is, very popular right now. I have not seen this where they can literally change what they're looking at. I'm sure people today, even on this stream are wishing we did that today so they could kind of zoom in on something or whatever. But we are seeing it with like audio and video. And I think this is definitely a trend. So I like what you're doing here. I think that's really smart.
Thank you.
Wendy has a question about those servers. You talked about the international locations. She does have a client who has, recommendation or requirement actually that all their servers have to be US based. So is it possible to control
Yes,
where that
every single, correct. So what we do is we actually, when we work with a customer, everything we're doing is, I say semi-custom. So they say, hey, we have an event in X city where we're going to have 500 people that are going to attend. We will spin up a server in, let's say, Chicago, and then that will be their host server for that entire event. Every bit of the information will go through that. And then the hot backups that we have going live for those will actually be running simultaneously. If something happens, we're able to move, pivot, and that's why we actually have a live technician on every show to keep everything running seamlessly.
Okay, so tell me more about that services part. I mean, there's the platform, but then this live technician. Is there also support in the lead up to the event, the planning process?
Yes, exactly. So we'll help them create their site. That will be the branding, the customization, the color, everything from a web development standpoint. Then they'll be able to have the site, they'll have the event. During the pre-show, we'll do all the testing. We'll do with their production company or with whomever they want to use, whether it's StreamYard, whether it's ShowFlow. We can work with any one of them and we'll test the content, make sure it's getting to the right place. It looks good. It's streaming correctly. And that's all through the pre-show. Plus, day of, there's one phone call. Pick up the phone. Hey, we're having an issue or we see this issue. There's no hold music. There's no 800 number. There's no email. There's no, texting will work too. But we want, just like a live pro AV, get to the problem as soon as possible. Walk backstage and talk to the technician.
Super important. I mean, I've said many times you could be 30 seconds late for an in-person event and no one will notice, but 30 seconds on a virtual event, everyone's feverishly in the chat, something's wrong, everything's broken, the world is falling apart. So all of those seconds count. They feel like hours as you're producing a virtual.
Yes, they do.
Another question from Wendy. What engagement tools do you offer? Can you tell us about polls, surveys, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we have, like everybody else. I mean, we have polls, surveys, we have modules, chat. Everything is able to be curated. So you've got Q&A, you've got chat, you've got curated content. So we can, if there's chat boxes that we create, whether it's multiple or single, they can be wide open, they can be curated. We've got the ability to do, beginning and end Q&A, middle Q&A. I mean, we can basically push modules in and out throughout an entire show to give people the experience that the producer wants. If it's a pre-show question and answer or polling, hey, what did you think about all of these subjects? Then you go to the end. What do you think about them now? And really get that data, and all of that is collected, and then we can hand it off to the producer when it's done.
That's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about pricing, just what we should know from a structure standpoint?
For sure. Yeah. So the initial license is $5,000, and that includes 500 registrations. Now, this is a corporate structure. We have flat rate pricing for all of our nonprofits, where we're basically doing like a $2,500 flat rate fee for their event. And then we help them create that because they're on more of a budget restrictive type standpoint, and their events are a lot shorter. Once you have the license for 5,000, you can use the platform for as many events as you want. And those 500 registrations go until they're gone. And then it's $6 per registration after that. If you go to MultiStream, there is an upcharge for that of $3 per person, but that, we figure that out on a show by show basis, depending on what the needs are.
And how does it work? Very technical question in terms of the attendees, if they're coming to multiple events. So you have those 500 registrations. Is that
per event? So if it's one person coming to 3 events, they're going to pay for, you're going to pay for each event each time that they come.
Right.
I've patterned it after another very popular service that we all know. But it just made more sense. I wanted to simplify the pricing structure instead of, well, how many hours and how long and how much. It didn't make sense to get complicated.
Yeah, I have to say our clients very much like that per person pricing, even if it's expensive, which I'm not saying yours is, but even if it was, they'd rather pay it per person. Even if it was $50 a person, they just want to know. And I guess they're kind of used to that with food and beverage and other things that we price that way. It's an interesting model for virtual, honestly, but it seems to work pretty well. And so I'm glad it's working for you. And I'm sure planners appreciate that it's a lot easier to explain to your clients.
And they can budget. I mean, how many times has some customer come to you on a Friday at 3:00 in the afternoon and said, I've got this event that we need to schedule and I need all my numbers by Monday, and then I'm getting text messages saying, I need this now. And it's just easy enough. Here's the license. Here's the per person. How many people? We're really feeling like if we keep it this simple, we're going to be able to help people budget, create a better event, create better outcomes ultimately.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
let's see if I'm missing any questions in the chat. I think I got them all. We are just at time, so I guess I don't have time for any more anyway. But Jordan, thank you so much for showing us GigStream. I'm really looking forward to being on your podcast. So I hope everyone who's watching will be able to join as well. Right. And I know that they can connect with you in the techsytalk community, but just since it's not on this screen, can you remind them of how to reach out if they're interested right now?
Yeah, go to gigstream.live. And you can jump on for a demo. We'll be happy to show you. You can grab, hit the green button up there and we'll schedule some time to talk, give you a better idea of what we're doing, how we're doing it, how we can help them integrate with what they may already be doing just to help them be more successful and really truly solve problems. That's what I love to do. My developers and the guys that we work with, we just like to solve problems. If there's something that people have had or said that they're like, we haven't been able to find something to do this, come talk to me, because that's what we do. I mean, everything we're doing is looking custom. It's not a one size fits all group, and we're not for everyone, and that's okay. We want to help people solve the big problems that they're having trouble solving.
Yeah, that's super important. Not every platform works for everyone, obviously, which is why we do a showcase like this.
That's right.
So thank you so much, Jordan. Looking forward to connecting with you again soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Liz. We'll talk to you on Monday. Have a great day.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, folks.